I say things like my Californian self or my dumbass self all the time without really putting any thought into it. But after putting some thought into it, I'ma say no. It's not Temesis, not infixing, nothing like that. If you don't know, Temesis is basically cutting a word open and shoving another word in the middle. And an infix is like a suffix or a prefix, but in the middle. And for English examples, think of things like a whole nother or Massachusetts. But when you say things like a whole nother instead of another, or Massachusetts instead of Massachusetts, those things is still more or less interchangeable, like they occur in the same spots. But when I say my Californian self, I'm not doing the same thing. Because if I was doing the same thing, then my Californian self and myself would occur in the same spots in my sentences. And once you take a closer look at it, it's pretty clear that they do not. Because myself is a reflexive. It refers back to the subject of the sentence. Like I would say, I did it myself. But my Californian self is the subject of the sentence. It's not doubling back to nothing else. It's the star of the show. And when I try to trade places, I get something like, I did it my Californian self, which might work maybe sometimes. But if I do the other way and say, myself wouldn't say that, no, that doesn't work. So when I say something like my Californian self or my ugly self or my dumbass self, I'm not using an alteration of myself. Really, I'm saying two separate words, my and self. So saying something like my Californian self is the same as saying my giant globe, right? I'm using my possessive, then an adjective, and then a noun. And I think why this gets a bit sticky and tricky is that self needs a little bit of help. Like I wouldn't say self on its own. I would say something like my Californian self or the self is, etc., etc. But even if it needs some help, I am still using self at the end of the day, not myself.